Hey y'all, how y'all been? I don't really game as much anymore. I haven't really gamed that much since November, and then I dabbled a little bit, and I just be chilling most of the time. So I really enjoy Reddit stories when I hear this on TikTok. So I just there's some that I wanted to read that I couldn't find on TikTok. So I said, let's just do it together. And if you wanted to listen, and if you're bored, if you're working, you can listen to it and comment what you think about the post or any advice you would give, your reaction, etc. But um, let's see how this goes. So I'll link where I got the stories from. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the editing since I'm recording from OBS. It's my first time doing that. And to make it short and to the point for you guys. So for this one caught my attention because of the title. It says, "Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I would leave her to die if we encountered a bear?" Okay. So to start, it's my girlfriend, 46 female, and I, 35 male, were riding our bikes on a path through the wood. At one point, she asked, "What would you do if we encountered a bear?" Such a girlfriend thing to do. "Would you love me if I was a worm?" Our conversation went roughly like this. Me, I would run away as fast as I can. Her, clearly taken aback. "Wait, what? You would leave me to die?" Me, "Well, I would expect you to run away too." Her, "I'm not in shape enough to get away from a bear." Me, "Well, it's our only hope. We have our bikes and we both of us can't fight a bear." Her, "I'm disappointed. I thought you would try to defend me." Me, "If I stay, we both die." Her, "Well, we could try to scare it, make ourselves bigger than we are." This man is thinking realistic. It went on a bit more, but clearly she was angry. She has bring back she has brought back the topic on multiple occasions, told me every man she's been with would have told her they would defend her, at which point I told her they would be delusional or liars. Am I the asshole? Now he makes the edit. "Thanks for all your comments. It blew up more than I thought it would. It was hard trying to work this morning. A lot of food for thought here. Here's some highlights." Okay, so apparently bears run faster than bikes, so my thought process was wrong from the get go. I should bring bear spray. Definitely. Although I'm not sure if there's a lot of bears where I'm from. I might be too honest for my own good, and I should stop answering my girlfriend's stupid questions with serious answers. I mean, what do you think? Do people value honesty? Maybe they need to know that about your character in those type of situations and don't sugarcoat it, you know? Lots of references to the man versus the bear in the wood survey. I guess it's not part of the collective mind. So this one got a lot of comments, 1.6K comments, 864 upvotes. So we're just gonna look at the best top. We'll look at the best comments so far. "If you run and she stays still, it'll probably chase you anyway." Oh shit. See, and what I've researched and heard is that different bears react differently. Like red bears are more aggressive than brown bears, black bears. Like they all have different things you should do. So I think the best advice for anyone, if you're like into nature, hiking and camping, you should research what's in your area and how to defend yourself. But I think bear spray, I even heard bear spray on a human is an awesome defense. So someone said the right answer depends on which one of you has the keys. All right. Yep. If OP, the original poster, was my partner and told me that, I'd be like, "Okay, you do that. I'll try to make myself less noticeable while you do so it'll chase you and leave me alone." I don't know. I've seen I've watched that show I Survived, and it talked about two bear attacks, and yeah, them pretending to play dead, and it was still attacking them. So I don't know. Such a reverse Uno. I like that. My thoughts exactly. You don't run from a bear. Oh man, they're going in. So this is all people commenting on that one person's comment. My husband would expect me to save him, and then everyone's commenting on that. What's your opinion on it? I think I would research it. I think I would be prepared to have bear spray, especially because I watch a lot of like true crime and like I Survived. And I thought that I Survived was going to be all serial killers, but it's actually a lot of like events where people freak freak accident happens or animals are attacking them, like a cougar or a bear. So it made me more aware of that kind of situation. Let me know what you think. All right, let's see for the next one. All right, so this one is NSFW, and it says, "You went low, so I went lower." This one is from a PettyRevenge Reddit. All right, where's the whole story? Okay. Fake names for privacy reasons. I'm on mobile, so sorry for any issues. I was married to my husband Brad for almost 3 years, but with him for 6. I moved halfway across the country to be with him when work pulled him away from our home state. I left my family to be with him. Everything was fine until September 2023 when Brad got hurt at work and had to be modified duty, and he started working closely with a woman, Brittany. Him and Brittany got pretty close since they worked every day together, and finally in March 2024, I told him I was uncomfortable with how close they had gotten. There was a lot he did, talked about her a lot, defended her to her boss, helped her through marital problems with her husband, etc. Friendly motherfucker. He got upset, but we moved on. May 2024, we went to the fair, and right before we left, he told me he invited Brittany, her husband, Alex, and their daughter. I was upset as I was looking forward to spending time with Brad, but it is what it is. The beginning of June 2024, Brad tells me he wants a divorce and blames a lot of reasons. Growing apart, age we got married, I changed, etc. The decision was made that I would return to our home state, so I began saying my goodbyes to all the people I was closest to. That's when one mutual friend drops the bomb. Brad and Brittany are a fling that they hope becomes more. So what's my solution? Message Alex, since I had met him, and let him know what's going on. He responds immediately and asks me to call him, so I do, and we talk before he asks if we can meet for coffee the next morning to discuss more. We talk for a while, vented to each other about our spouses, and in the ultimate form of revenge, we hook up. Okay. I thought it was going to be, I mean, I guess that's a get back. Um, Brittany and Brad are still going to be together. Alex is going to leave his wife regardless. Regardless, Brittany and Brad didn't want their significant others. So them kind of hooking up in their brains, they think they got like the ultimate form of revenge. But I don't think the other two care because they have each other. So these are all my first reaction to these. I didn't read these. I only read the titles before getting on and filming for you guys. So Hetty, I don't know. Yeah, sounds like everyone is happy now. Yay. How scandalous. Everyone's not really like impressed. Someone said it's a love square. Someone said go on, there's more, right? Yeah, so whatever. He was having an emotional affair and he liked her. He could have, at least he finally did divorce her and didn't just keep doing this emotional affair, and like she had to be the one to stand up and like take action, and you know what I mean, because some men will just drag you along until you finally leave their ass. So lackluster. 2 out of 10 wow factor. The next one is Petty Revenge. My coworker was an ass to me, so I parked in her unofficial spot. All right, let's see how it's short. Okay. Quick backstory. My coworker came to work in a bad mood, and I'm someone new at my job. We all drive vans assigned to us at work and park them technically wherever, but we all have our unofficial spots we park in every day. Since I'm the newest, I park the furthest away down the hill. A mechanic was dropping off a new car and I couldn't figure out the best place to park, so I asked where should he park the car. And my coworker said wherever he wants to fucking park it. I said okay and just walk away. End of shift, I get back before she does and park my work van in her unofficial spot because we park where we want to fucking park, I guess. It's short, it's petty, because it's unofficial spot. So someone says, haha, she's gonna burn about that one. We all know how territorial people get about their spots. And then people go on to tell their own stories here. I had a guy at work park sideways in front of me and lock his keys in his truck so I couldn't leave because I was in his spot. Jesus. That's serious? I'm not gonna lie, I had my own spot in the parking lot out here, but now I don't give a fuck about it. Nah, I move my car whenever I want. I did prefer it because only one car would be parking on one side of me, the other side was the sidewalk, but whatever. You asked and she answered. Laugh out loud, too funny. People are really impressed with this one. It was simple, but yeah, I guess that was petty. Alright, here's another one. Caught my attention. It's under PettyRevenge again. Caused food stealing. Coworker puke all over himself. 3 days ago. Alright, let's get into it. Small business, max 10 people were in the office at the same time. So when someone is stealing food from the fridge, people notice it fairly quickly. However, this was the owner's son. Now, the owner was known for nicking food, but he would at least pay you back sometimes. His son, about 20 at the time, did not and was also a dick about it. And most of the people were getting fed up. So one day I brought coloring liquid from home, which my wife used to make blue treats, cake, ice cream for our kids. He was always stealing my dairy products, so I thought the blue would make it less appealing. Almost forgot about it until a coworker was fuming that someone had eaten almost all of her cottage cheese and that she didn't have enough for herself. So I asked her if she was willing to sacrifice what was left, sprinkled a few blue drops in there, went to the culprit and said, "Dude, were you eating this? It's gone bad. You can't eat this. How did you not notice?" I could hardly finish my sentence as he threw up all over his desk and himself violently. For all to see, the blue spots in the leftover I showed him did look rather dramatic. Yeah, his spelling was throwing me off. He kept saying where when he was supposed to say where. So this person has obviously a visual, like one of those instant reactions. That's funny if you know that you would get that sick off of like food that's spoiled. It's funny because he didn't even know that. He just did that and the guy immediately reacted that way. Oh my god, the blazing hot wings, they switched the stickers. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people in comments, like when I see this on TikTok, a lot of people in comments are always like, you can go to jail for that. Like, you can get arrested. What if someone has a condition? And it's like, I mean, you shouldn't tamper with shit, but it's your shit. So, like, and no one else is supposed to be touching it. So it's like, you know, but if someone like had like ate a hot wing and like had like a heart attack or some shit, I don't know what the technicality behind that would be. But I'm assuming it would probably not be good for you. Where's my back button? Alright. I thought some were gonna be better just by the title. Alright, this one is PettyRevenge again from the Reddit. Yelled at a pedestrian in a crosswalk, so now you park further away. This one I just wasn't sure, but I was excited because it was like seemed like a parking issue. Alright, this weekend I was at a shopping center. I had just left one of the stores and was walking to my car when I heard this lady yelling at a pedestrian in a crosswalk. "You have to look before you cross. You can't just walk out into the road. Some people like you just don't care. You're so stupid." Mind you, that's my neighborhood. We have a couple crosswalks in my neighborhood. It's a circle, and people will go walking all the time. And literally, I'm pulling up to turn out left or right, and they just walk right in front of you. But it's like, it's not a crosswalk, so like you're just walking in front of the road. So I hate that shit, but I have to be extra careful. All right, couple of things to note. This is a crosswalk that goes from the parking lot into the main entrance. Oh, it was a crosswalk. Of the grocery store. People cross there all the time and cars have to watch and wait. The driver did have a point since some drivers in the area don't care and people have been hit on the main roads. But there was no need to yell like that. I told the driver it was a crosswalk and they had to stop. I said, "Thank goodness you did pay attention and stop." She then yelled at me that the lady must look before crossing. Since this was Saturday morning, the prime spots were taken, but I was lucky to get one earlier. As I approached my car to drop off my stuff, guess who wanted my spot? The same driver. I opened my door, put my groceries in, and all of a sudden decided that I wanted to go look up some more stores. I shook my head at her. She yelled at me, "You did that on purpose, you twit." I shrugged my shoulders and walked away. Guess she should have just kept her mouth shut. Alright, so this story, I was confused in the beginning. So this story is the person that's writing the post was the person that got yelled at. Obviously, at the end, we figured that out. But she was in the right of way, in the crosswalk. The person yelling was expecting them to stop and look to see if she was coming. It's a crosswalk. You're technically just supposed to be able to just walk through it. You should look because some people don't give a fuck like that lady. Um, But yeah, I would have did the same thing. I would have parked there all day. Got an Uber home and Uber back later to get my car. Oh my god. Someone says, I hope you found something nice after you went back. Maybe they mean went back to the stores, not went back to the car like their car was messed up. Nothing's really catching my eye. It's tricky. Yeah, the person crossing the crosswalk should look. The person driving through it has to stop. Yeah, exactly. It's petty going back into the store. I love that. And then I'd wait till they found a spot farther away, parked, and was already halfway through the parking lot, then walk back out. All right, here's another petty revenge one. It says they don't know I'm their boss. All right, this is a longer one. All right, let's go. I work at a facility with children with ASD, so due to HIPAA, this will be very vague. We are short staffed on this particular day, and I volunteered to stay late to help with coverage so one of the children can make an important doctor visit. Normally, I am a supervisor of a different shift and oversee the people that I was filling in for. We are a fairly large company with awful turnarounds, so people and titles get lost in the day to day all the time. On top of the chaos that our clients are already stir up on a daily basis. So I am with my assigned child, and this new lady comes out and immediately lays into me about how I have to do these things and those things, these things and those things. Start questioning if I even know what I'm doing, all the while ignoring the client she's supposed to be watching. I tried correcting her, tried to explain what she was doing was improper and endangered to the child. In this instance, it's a child who frequently chokes on food, and she's not preparing his food properly. All the guidance I was attempting to give her, despite the disrespect and talking down to me, was met with huffs and puffs and her storming off and mumbling insults she thinks I don't hear. I just laugh and ensure not only my child but hers are safe. After all, I only have to wait an hour or two before I leave. And I'm patient and petty. Alright, this is about to be good, I guess. This behavior continues the entire 2 hours. During this time, she leaves her child unattended a dozen times, ignores all my guidance, tries bossing me around, hurls insults, get attacked by her child. Many of our clients are violent, and I still step in and rescue her so everyone is at bare minimum at least safe. I never once told her how long I've been there, nor what my position is. I simply thanked her for the advice and smiled. And in the spirit of patience and my embracing my inner demons, I will now wait until the day she ends walking into my office. It will be glorious. Edit. Yes, I did my due diligence as a mandated reporter, and both children are safe, and were handed off to veteran staff who are very competent. There's an update. I have no confirmation of the exact discipline, but she was removed from scheduling. This could mean a multitude of things, but it for sure means they consider this a serious infraction to disallow her from working with the kids. We'll probably know more after the weekend. So I'm kind of a little confused. Okay, so this person's the boss. This person was acting very inappropriately, not even taking care of their child. Just literally just. I think the worst part was having their child in danger, and it seems like at the end, I know it says it's vague, but it's like they can't wait until this person walks into their office. It'll be glorious. And then it says they did their due diligence as a mandated reporter. So I guess he ended up did reporting it, but it's like weird if you're the owner. It's like, okay, yeah, you do have to report what happened. Shouldn't you've been the one to like reprimand and like move her from a different position just based off of that alone? And you witnessed it being the owner? And then it says we'll probably know more after the weekend. So it's kind of weird that they say they're the boss of the company. They don't know shit what's going on. Yeah, why aren't you firing her? She sounds like a danger to the children. With awful turnaround, yeah. This one's very weird. I don't understand what the petty part is. I assume him thinking his petty was knowing he had to report her and knowing that eventually when she gets fired, she's going to have to walk in his office. I don't know. This one's confusing. This guy, I think he did something. Let me know what y'all think, because I'm not getting that one. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. All right, this is Entitled People from the Reddit Entitled People. And this is my neighbor thinks I should change my camera angles to look over his house too. People are fucking ridiculous, bro. Alright, so this is ridiculous. Had to share. I recently bought and had outdoor cameras installed for my house after I saw them and all they can do at my aunt's house. The cameras are pointed around my house. A few days after getting them installed, my neighbor knocked on the door and asked about them. I told him that they're for extra security. He asked about the features and I sent him the ad from the company. He then asked something I wasn't prepared for. He asked if I can change a few of my camera angles so that it can have his house in the view as well. I laughed thinking he was joking, but he told me he was serious. He said that we should do the neighborly thing and move the cameras over so that if anything happens at his house, he will have footage. He also asked for access as well and said that we can both have the added security. I told him no and suggested that he should purchase his own. He threw a fit, is now threatening to contact the HOA if I don't honor his request. Good luck, buddy. This is so funny to me because I've seen this post on, it was a video on TikTok, and this woman came to the door and was knocking on the door. And she's like, I'm your neighbor. We both have the same landlord, and you changed your Wi Fi password. So I need your Wi Fi password. And he was like, I didn't even know you were using it, but it's my Wi Fi and you can't have it. And she's like, my landlord said the internet was included with my rent. And I talked to my landlord and he told me to talk to you. And then the guy's like, I'm not your landlord. You can talk to our landlord, but I'm not giving you my internet. So it's giving that vibe. Oh, yeah, this is definitely right for entitled people. Yeah, and the access to the system is crazy. Him thinking like, oh, and let me log into the account so we can both look at it. That's just weird. Yeah, people have the see, I don't answer my door. I wouldn't answer my door. Oh, I do have a couple from entitled people. Okay, so this one says friend is suffocating and feels entitled to all my free time. It's a long one. Okay. All right, so I've tried so many times to be understanding and patient with her, but it's getting to the point that I'm feeling used and it's like she thinks she's entitled to all my free time. First off, I know I'm overloaded, working 6 days till late most days, doing interviews to try to find a better job, and juggling a busy social personal life outside of work too. But this one friend doesn't get it. She will literally try cram multiple meetups, and when we toss around dates, can you do the 10th or the 12th? She will use that as an opportunity to plan for both days. I know we decided on the 10th, but I got tickets for the 12th too. What do you mean you're not free anymore? You just suggested the 12th earlier. Usually for days like the 12th, I'm either trying to plan a mental health rest days, errands, or I have another event to try to squeeze in. Sometimes I flat out say no and pray she doesn't ask why not. Other times I feel bad and give an explanation, but she gets sulky or literally tries to slither around my other plans to make it work. She does this every meetup, and I'm constantly having to be the bad guy that has to let her down. It's tiring and a terrible feeling. It's extra time, work, money, mental stress, etc. I know she does it to escape all the crap in her life, crappy family, boyfriend, job, etc. She hates all of it. So I try very hard to compromise. How about we just do a call tonight? I'm here if you need to vent. But she's insistent on doing things. Fancy restaurants, shopping, concerts, movies, random expensive activities, etc. And the excuse is always, I don't want to talk about it, I just want a distraction. But isn't that a bit entitled? Demanding all my free time, and I'm not allowed to say anything or negotiate? I'm supposed to say nothing and go along with whatever she wants? And it's usually expensive. In this economy, I can't be paying so much just to see her and fill her void. I didn't mind it at first, knowing she's stressed, but does she know I get stressed too? Now I just feel used. I've tried explaining to her gently that I'm busy and can do X number of meetups a month, setting my boundaries, etc. And she will still push for more and refuse to justify it. Just expect me to comply. Then I look bad for constantly saying no, I'm exhausted. I hate the feeling of having to say no, but when you learn your boundaries, it's just like I still feel bad when I have to say no, but it just feels so good not letting them know that you feel bad. Like I'll tell a trusted person like my husband, don't let those people know you feel bad because they'll just try to do it worse to manipulate you. But yeah, man, just no, move on. You no excuses. Nope, can't do it. But this person just is not respecting boundaries either. I would not like that in my life. I don't like that. Oh, so there's an edit. I'm sorry. It's crazy how his post was so validating compared to my deleted post. Same story, but I was more angry. And I got downvoted to oblivion and told my friend is in the right and I'm being a bad friend for pushing her away. She just wants to hang out with you lots. That's good and you sound like a bad friend. Ugh. I think it's opposite that I care too much about a friend that doesn't care about me. Really appreciate the insight, support received from this post, and will be rethinking, reflecting on this friendship. Someone says, when she calls to set up plans, just say no, you're busy. Yeah, I just said that. Don't offer explanations, just said that. On why or what you're doing. I can't this week is the explanation. Then hang up. She's treating you like a doormat and you're allowing this behavior. I bought tickets for the 10th and 12th. Should have been met with sorry I made other plans for the 12th. If other plans were sitting on your couch eating chips all day, then that was your other plan. Stop being nicer and start being nice to you. Exactly. My advice. Yes! Another person, stop explaining. No is a complete sentence. And reconsider this friendship because it seems awfully one sided. It's not your fault she has a crappy life. She needs to do something about that. Dump the boyfriend, go low contact with family, find a different job, etc. You're not her therapist, but she needs one. Yeah. I hope they rethink it. Sometimes people just have a lot of guilt of like cutting people off, but if that's how you function with low interactions and no pushiness, then that's just not a friendship that's going to work for you. And also, friendships can, this person will take it bad, but some friendships can just like be for a season and no ill will or nothing bad happen. Just, time and place. It just sometimes friendships just fizzle out a little bit, and that's okay. Entitled People. So-called friend demands me to reply to a ton of text messages on my day off. Okay, not the demanding. Okay. I'm so thankful for all the replies and advice. Thank you, really. All right, perfect. So let's see. I'm a people pleaser. Ooh, and a doormat. Yeah. All right, so beware that I'm not innocent in any of this, and I'm responsible for letting the situation progress and worsen without firmly shutting it down sooner. Believe me, I know it is all my fault. I speak English fluently. I'm not perfect by any means, but my level is C2. So I'm definitely proficient. My friend doesn't speak English very well. I love helping people, so I offered her free lessons to improve her speaking skills. She was supposed to study on her own. I gave her a list of links that provide easy and clear grammar rules on all of the necessary topics to reach a B2 level. She lost said list a number of times. She didn't study. She stopped following the lessons with me due to her depression. I don't blame her because I have my own issues. And now August is coming to an end, and she's anxious because she needs her English to improve in order to find a job. She wants me to give her 2-hour lessons every day after work. I work full time, by the way, and I consented. My first mistake. Well, let's get to Saturday. I told her last week and then reminded her on Friday that yesterday would have been my day off and that I would have gone out of town to do my own thing. She was allowed to send me messages, my second mistake, and I figured that I would reply whenever I had the time. Do you know how many messages I got? 69. 69 messages. I counted them. She has silly questions that I've either already replied to a bunch of times or that are easily answered by a search on Google. In our own language, you can easily find English grammar websites in Italian. We were supposed to do a 4-hour lesson today. My third mistake. But frankly, I'm so pissed that I haven't replied yet. I can tell from her tone in the messages that she's annoyed and mad. She wrote 3 or 4 times, okay, so when you reply, we'll figure this out. Which to me reads like a way to get me to reply to her faster. Who in their right mind sends 69 text messages to someone who clearly and explicitly said, this is my day off, I will be out and about? Because she knows that you will always answer her. You're a little... Someone said you need a spine. You've overstepped her and being too demanding. You're going to have to pay for a professional tutor and send it in English. So she has to figure it out. Oh my god, you need better friends. No is a complete sentence. There's that phrase again. Someone broke down everything and replied to the OP. Yeah. Just too pushy. Pushy people in your life are just not a good thing, I don't think. Entitled. Ooh. Headaches. All right, one more pickup. This one had a couple replies, and I was like, oh, because I used to do like I'm picking my own groceries up from Walmart. All right, so this one says, it's from Entitled People, by the way. I just did Walmart pickup. I guess people always feel like they are the exception because you're you. There were a half dozen vehicles without drivers parked, and several of them produced people who were doing their regular shopping, just wanted a closer parking spot. So I guess you are special and need a closer spot. I mean, if you have a condition, apply for a handicap spot. For example, Karen, all she needed to do was go in, pick up her prescription, apparently, in and out within 10-ish minutes. But she needed the closest spot possible so she didn't have to walk any further and waste her time. Gee, I wouldn't want Karen to have to walk any further than she needed to. My rant, if she has a legit condition, apply for a handicap spot. You're not special. What the fuck? So, I don't know if they changed it since COVID, but in my experience, when I did Walmart pickup, there's a special parking for only Walmart pickup people. And it has numbers on it. And when you get on the app, you write what you have to fill in, what number spot you're in. And then they bring it out in a buggy. You open your doors and they put your groceries in the car. Walmart pickup. I don't know what the fuck this. Before I read the comments and see who's agreeing with me and not, but I don't know what makes her a Karen, because if I see a spot in the front, I might park there. Sometimes I don't because it's too much pedestrians and cars coming in and out. I tend to park a little further, but why can't she park close if she wants to? Doesn't matter what she's there for. A parking spot's a parking spot. Like, okay, let's see. I think people are agreeing. My local Walmart redid their parking lot, and the entire last row is all pickup spots. It is seriously the most brilliant thing. Oh, wow. So maybe not all Walmarts have that. Oh, so people are parking in the pickup spots. That wasn't what she was saying. She was like, you're parking closer when you're only going in for 10 minutes. She wasn't saying like they're parking in the pickup spots. Yeah, I'm kind of confused about this person. I feel like they just needed to vent, but I'm not understanding their logic. Help me figure that out if I'm not seeing it correctly. I got a couple Entitled People. Okay, this one says kneecapped a Karen in front of a cop. That obviously caught my attention. Entitled People Reddit. Alright, this is gonna be a longer read here. Alright, so this happened several years ago when I worked as a construction project manager for a company that serviced retail POS systems. The job was for everything from ad remover register to installing all the electronics in a newly constructed store. One year I took camping off road vacation in a remote area and was supposed to meet some friends. They called me to inform me they were about 6 hours late. Dang. Since I knew some people at the local grocery store I'd recently finished doing the IT modeling for, I walked over to say hi. When I got there, I found that half their front end was down. The manager asked if I could help, and since I was just killing time, I told him yes, my boss approved the OT. Anyone who worked in the field was paid hourly. The OT was approved, and it quickly became apparent that the issue was that the cleaning contractor dismantled the registers, violating their contract the night before to make it easier to clean. Sheesh. I fixed all but 2 lanes, and those had damaged power and data cables. I told the manager I could fix them with parts from the local True Value and Radio Shack if he would reimburse me. I also asked if I could park my truck in the vendor-only spot since his parking lot was full and I would need some tools I carried in my truck. He agreed, so I got my truck, picked up the items I needed, and parked in the vendor spot. This is important. Both registers needed the cabinets dismantled in order to get to replace the damaged cables. I fixed the first lane, got it operational. Then I moved to the second lane, which was right in the front of the customer service desk. I made sure the close sign was up and had a 6-wheeled cart that was loaded with a special order placed to block the register. I was lying under the register belt in order to connect the new cables to the register base when someone kicked me. They kicked me again, so I lashed out with a steel-toed boot and hit a Karen in the knee, dropping her screaming briefly as she was knocked out when she hit her head on the cart she had moved. What happened was she decided that my lane should be open, moved the cart, tossed the clothes sign on the floor, and kicked me for ignoring her. What she failed to notice was there was a local cop at the customer service desk asking if they wanted the lifted truck and the vendor spot ticketed. The manager was directing him to where I was to see if it was mine, and they both saw the woman kicking me. The cop called an ambulance for the Karen and then asked if I wanted to press charges, which I did. Yay! The store also pressed charges as she had been banned and was violating a no trespass order. She's a problem child. She later pled guilty to the trespass and a misdemeanor assault charge after being informed that a police officer witnessed the attack and security camera reported it. My employer's legal team informed me that I was being subpoenaed for a deposition because she was suing both companies for compensation for having broken her kneecap and given her a concussion. A week later, I was told this was canceled as the judge had dismissed the case with prejudice due to her having initiated the violence, according to the police report. Of course, she was already banned. That's what I was saying. Problem child. This one is satisfying. Who in their right mind comes up to someone and kicks them? She has mental disorders. Whatever she's done before to be banned and trespass, mental disorder. Kneecapping a Karen. That is amazing. That's funny. I like that one. Let's upvote. I haven't been upvoting anything. I only interact a little bit on Reddit, like to ask a question, but I never comment on posts and give my advice or anything like that. This one was it just was confusing to me. So it's also called Entitled People. The title is kind of intriguing. So my small town is fighting over Chinese food. This is Entitled People on the large scale, and it's too hilarious not to share. Oh gosh. I live in a small town, population 7,000 roughly, and everyone is currently divided over a Chinese restaurant. It's been in the local news and Australia's national news that's how crazy people are getting. I'm going to try to keep this short. Back in May of this year, a local Chinese restaurant owner informed the local club he was renting kitchen space from that he wanted to retire, gave them his resignation stating his last operating day would be the end of June. Cue the local Karens and Kevins in the mass. One local, who we will call Big Kevin, teamed up with another local we will call Mega Karen, and they decided that they were going to protest against the closing. Over Chinese food, this man can't retire, and force the club to keep the restaurant open. This poor man has been running the restaurant for 30 years without break and just wanted to retire peacefully. But no, Mega Karen started a petition while Big Kevin organized a protest. Now, our third major player in this we shall call the Wicked Witch. The Wicked Witch, working in the shadows, starts leaking to the local paper that said restaurant owner is being forced out of the club. False allegation. The club gives their first and only statement about the situation, stating that the restaurant owner retired and even produces retirement paperwork for proof. At this point, the national news comes into it and does an interview with the restaurant owner, who states on the news he wants to retire. You would think that would be the end of it, but no. Mega Karen gets 1,200 or so signatures on her petition, which she hands to the club. The club's lawyer calls it invalid due to over 900 of the signatures not being filled in properly. Signature plus printed name plus club membership number or phone number needed by each person to make it valid. Or same person signed multiple petition slots. So Mega Karen starts a new petition, which only gets 74 signatures, probably because they all heard this man say he wants to retire. Meanwhile, Big Kevin organizes a protest he doesn't show up for, nor does anyone else. The club then hosts a meeting for all club members, members of the general public, and the club's board to discuss what is going on, but again, for all the complaints, no one shows up. Now, Mega Karen and Big Kevin are demanding that a new meeting be held, the club's general manager be fired, and the club's board be disbanded, and a new board elected. The Wicked Witch then once again goes to the newspaper with a statement from the restaurant owner. The restaurant has now been closed for over a month and states that now the club has renovated the restaurant and has plans to start a new restaurant. They, the old restaurant, would consider renting the space again. Before you question why the space wasn't renovated before this point, it was part of the Chinese restaurant's agreement that they would maintain the renovated space as they saw fit, as stated by the club in their public statement. And she tells the paper that the whole reason the Chinese restaurant left wasn't because they wanted to retire, but because their rent increased from the $285 a week they paid for 28 years to $385 a week last year, and then $485 a week this year for a restaurant space, when other local restaurants are paying $2,500 a week plus the same for same or smaller spaces. So Big Kevin, Mega Karen, and a ton of other locals were all shocked at the cost of rent, which they are all now saying should have been kept at the $285 to encourage the restaurant to stay even, though it meant likely closing the club since they were struggling to afford running costs. The club even broke down the running costs to show the members and locals how expensive it is to keep the place open, but still not good enough. I can't with this town anymore. Sorry, my reading was crazy with this one. What the hell? The man, it's his own business. He can close it down. That's crazy. So many people craving for succulent Chinese meat. You know, I would, if I were that man, I would feel very, like, flattered. Thank you that you love my Chinese food so much, but that's crazy that it's just because they had nothing else to do. They're bored. I can't believe they thought that they could protest and get signatures to force someone to. That's crazy. Like, if someone came to your job and like, no, you can't retire, you're good at what you do, they would not be happy. Not much to do in small town. One person picks a topic, then everyone else picks a side and gets stuck onto it. I saw Workan with a Chinese menu in her hand, walking through the streets of Aussie in the rain. As collateral damage. Yeah, that's crazy. People really do think that, like, what they say goes. Let me get a sip of water here. Water break, water break. Alright. Ooh, this is getting into scary stories. I might just stop here, see if you guys even enjoy this, because I can read these by myself. But if anybody actually enjoys this series, I will keep going. If you guys comment and let me know, the next series we'll do the horrifying stories. I'm not sure how I'm gonna edit this, but I did mention where I found these Reddit posts, but I will try to link these also in the YouTube video as well. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoy. Have a great night, guys. Bye.